monsters. Good day to you, partner. I'm Guy, and I can already tell that I'll be your best friend in this forsaken kingdom.
Hey guys, We Solo here, aka the Skeleton King. So, I almost want to make jokes about all the poor decisions I made and which video I made next, and other jokes that people make in Blizzard General Chat about 7 Vex and I don't know I'm gay, because I feel really retarded right now, and I am going to answer some of your questions, or I'm going to answer questions that not many people have ever asked, but I decided to answer, and then possibly pose a few more about how mages actually operate. I know, aren't you already excited to watch this video? I actually had a lot of fun making it. I just wish it was more conclusive in a lot of ways. But we are going to find some information out. So what's the overall purpose of this video? The overall idea was to figure out how worth is it to cycle through your skeleton mages. So for instance, you're a Grimm's Burning Dead Necromancer, you've got 14 mages, you summon 14 of them. Is it worth your time to destroy the bad ones and keep the good ones? So we're going to do a DPS check of fire, cold, light, and poison. We're going to do a check with soft points and skeleton mastery. That's what these videos are right now. So it's 29 total, thanks to our Marrowax. And then we're going to do it with full skeleton mastery. And then the first clip was doing it without the boots on, to see if there's actually a DPS change between soft points and skeleton mastery and skeletal mages. For those who may not know, there used to be a soft point synergy with Skeleton Mastery and Mages, and it looks like there still is, but it is a very small effect as of now. Now, I'm going to answer why I think it's such a small effect now when I have the numbers a little later in the video. But as you saw, it wasn't insignificant, but it was a small DPS change between the Fire Mage without Skeleton Mastery and then the Fire Mage with Soft Point Skeleton Mastery. Okay, so now we're going to do mages with full Skeleton Mastery, okay? And they're going to be doing quite a bit more damage. Now, why is that? Well, that's because in Project Diablo 2, they put a synergy onto Skeleton Mages that has a 10% ED synergy for every hard point in Skeleton Mastery. Now that's actually a pretty big deal when you consider the base damage they've given to the abilities that these mages use. I'll put up a little chart at the end so you guys can get an idea about the scaling. Basically 28 plus is going to do the same every time, and it's just going to keep getting bigger from there. Now, we got to go to some interesting things coming up here, because this video is going to go by quick. Do you see the difference in damage changes between the soft point Skeleton Mastery Mage and the hard point Skeleton Mastery Mage? Shifts slightly between all 4 variants of Skeletal Mages. Now, why is that? Now that's because the Skeleton Mages have different average damages. For one, fire is much higher. Poison is right about fire, which is why they were close. Lightning is whack, and cold is lower. So, keep that in your back pocket, okay? Now, this little quick thing, I know, because I just started to go wild, okay? I went wild. I was like, I want to do a quick little refresh on fanaticism, and yes, fanaticism buffs skeletal mages. This test was only 10%. I would love it if somebody would go back to my last video and look it up. I should have done it, but I don't want to now. I want to finish the video and get on with my life. Maybe I'll check it myself and put it in the comments. And this is one with Vigor. Now, do I think Vigor has a DPS change to Skeleton Mages? I don't know. Maybe. That's 5%. That's not insignificant. I've always said I think Vigor increases the DPS of ranged minions. Maybe it does. They like to move around and shit. So keep that in your back pocket too. You know, what is actually something that's worth your time to do in this game? Now, this was my thing about base damage. If you look at the base damage of a level 60 Fire Mage, it's 500 to 522, or 511. If you put in the soft points of 29, or 58 base damage, you get a damage increase of 10%, right? That's pretty close to the damage increase we saw from the fire mages earlier, the one without the Marrow-Axe and the one with the Marrow-Axe. Am I right? I love to be right. And usually, I'm right. So let's just say I'm right. Okay, but you guys are going, Wheat Solo, you made this video for one particular purpose, and then you haven't answered it, and you've done all these other things, and they seem pretty insignificant, even if it's 10% and 5%. Is it worth my time to change my skeleton mages? Well, looking at these numbers up here, probably not, okay? That was the damage numbers with the hard point into Skeleton Mastery, and these are the damage numbers with the soft points into Skeleton Mastery. And although poison mages definitely drop you down, since on average we have 3.5 of each mage, it doesn't have too much of a DPS change whether you try to cycle them all out and get better ones. Now, caveat. I do think if you're going through hell or in a game for a long time, doing all of the keys and a map and Bale and Chaos Sanctuary, then yes, maybe it would be worth your time to actually go, oh, that's a poison mage, I'm going to get rid of it, get another fire mage, light mage, or ice mage. Because that's the DPS change between having poison mages or a random assortment of all of your mages. Or, sorry, not having poison mages and a random assortment of all. It's a 5% DPS change. And if you went really crazy and had only fire mages, it's only a 10% DPS change, guys. Alright, Skelly King out. GG.
Come play with us, Danny. Forever